All right, what's the deal? Why do we not have schools that it would be dumb for us not to sell? Like Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State. Ultimately, this all comes down to licensing. So every item that we sell, so for example, Syracuse here, we have an agreement with the school. We get licensed with them initially, we submit artwork, we agree upon a royalty rate, and then everything thereafter that I sell. So say I sell this sweatshirt for $50, then they get a percentage of that $50. Licensing is a little tricky at first, especially when you're starting out, but it's definitely worth it to learn it and be licensed with these schools so you're not just waiting around for a cease and desist. The downside is we cannot sell schools that do not offer us a license. So the Alabamas, the Texas A&Ms, until they decide to give us a license, we can't do anything about it. So a lot of the time when you see people selling those schools and they're really small companies, not all the time, but a lot of the time, they are unlicensed sellers, and sooner or later they're going to get a cease and desist and have to stop. Downside for them is obviously they have to stop operations, but also the licensing community is very small, so the licensing directors talk to each other, and it's going to be very hard for them to create a legitimate business after that. That's why I truly believe that you are rewarded for doing stuff honorably. That looks like not selling schools you're not licensed with and being truthful about how much you are selling. Because ultimately, if the schools do decide to work with you, they want to work with you. They're going to do what they can to repost you on their social medias and connect you to the bookstores for a wholesale opportunity. And that's another big thing. You are not going to be able to wholesale to anybody if you do not have a license. And that's where 80 to 90% of the people in this business make their money is wholesale. We are very different in that most of our sales are direct to consumer, but I would like to lean on more wholesale in the future because it just frees up cash flow. But again, you're not able to wholesale if you don't hold a license. So I know it is unfortunate for a lot of you guys asking for Oregon and Washington State and Tennessee and South Carolina. If you're thinking to yourself, how in the world does this guy not have it? I've applied to them and they have said no. But that does not mean that they say no forever. I can continue to apply every 6 months after their initial rejection and cross my fingers that hopefully one day they will change their mind and want to work with us and give us a license. So that's the gist on licensing. I know it's very confusing, so if y'all have any questions, I would love to answer them. I've helped a lot of companies get started in the college licensing space. I don't think that the barrier of knowledge is too high. It just takes a little bit of time to figure it out. I'm gonna go eat my lunch. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you guys for all the love and support.